A person who knowingly, voluntarily, or intentionally gives assistance to another in the commission of a crime is an accomplice. Now, a good and kind of recent example of what an accomplice can be is something like the minions from Despicable Me. They are always there beside Gru to help him in his next evil plan. This is something that we see in every single last Despicable Me film, even in the Minions movies, as they are a key part of each plan that Gru has, while also being a very reliable way to get that plan done. But the thing is that with the minions, they're a lot harder to kind of like take apart, because there's not too much to take apart of them. They're literally minions. Their entire goal in life is to serve somebody who is evil, and Gru just happens to be that person. But the reason why it's a little bit hard to actually kind of break down and actually explain to everybody here is that they don't really do too much besides that. They make jokes, they do their crimes, that's it. Also gives Illumination the big bucks. But after the recent success of both my anxiety video and my embarrassment video, which if you haven't seen, you should go watch, I think it's time for me to talk about a lot of people's favorite character in the movie, Envy. Ennui will come, I promise that. I'm going to talk about Envy first because this got a couple more votes in the poll. And you might be thinking, why talk about Envy? Like, she's not really in the movie too much, and yes, I will give you that, but I actually do have a really good and important message with this video, and that honestly, you should go see Inside Out 2 again. It's not like I'm sponsored or anything, I've just seen it twice, and I think there's something on my second rewatch that really came out with it. Specifically about envy and ennui that I didn't see while watching the first time, but I'll save ennui for a separate video because I think that's interesting on its own. So I do have a Sunday video planned for Despicable Me 4, but if you want an ennui video on Wednesday, then let's get this video to 500 likes. We were able to crush that like goal in the embarrassment video in around, I think, 5 hours, so I think we can do this one. So what Inside Out 2 is trying to convey to us is that envy is a perfect way of how to show us how to write a good accomplice. Envy is something that I think is a perfect representation in this movie. Like, I think without envy, if they replaced it with jealousy, the entire tone and movie would just kind of shift and be completely different. Envy is actually really important to this plot, and her great representation of what envy actually is kind of shows more of an angst side to Riley, which is a very crucial part of this movie, especially when it talks about, puberty. So what's interesting to see is that anxiety's plan is already bad enough. It's going to make Riley hate herself even more. And because anxiety has asserted her dominance over the rest of the emotions by throwing them out and basically taking over from there, creating a new Riley having this whole big plan, it's a good reason why Envy is pretty envious of this. She wants to be the one with this big plan. She wants to impress anxiety with what she has. She wants to be the one in control. So that's why she is constantly helping, because she actually has a reason to. She has a drive to actually be as good as anxiety, that even she isn't able to see how bad of a plan this actually is until the end when anxiety starts to show a true side to her. And secretly, if you've seen the movie, that scene where Riley's trying to figure out how to walk is not only relatable, but a really crucial idea to show what envy actually really does. Desperately trying to fit in just because of how they walk, that she completely misses the idea of why they're even laughing and just kind of assumes that they have to laugh too because that's what cool people do. And that she's so distracted by anxiety that she doesn't understand how to be a good emotion and how to actually help Riley, that in the end, envy is the one to push Riley in this wrong direction. Anxiety has the plan, but envy pushed her to the party. She made her think about how she's walking, and also just in the first place was extremely envious about Val's hair that started this entire idea of trying to fit in. And along with Riley trying to fit in with the rest of the hockey players, envy is trying to fit in with the rest of the emotions. And by giving the accomplice a reason to be an accomplice, trying to do everything that they can to be good, or even be better than the rest, it really helps your case here. It's a very important emotion to have because it really helps the entire plot go along. Her want for everything makes her a very good and well-written, ignorant accomplice. I do want to break this down just a little bit more, because I think there's a reason to why the audience doesn't really take into mind envy as much as they do anxiety and embarrassment. Anxiety's whole plan is the main plot of the movie. This is the thing that the protagonists have to get back to headquarters and stop, while embarrassment is something that along the way is actually helping. Kind of like a gentle giant that kind of came out of his shell at the very end. And what the audience is missing about Envy is that her plot and her idea is kind of pushed under the rug a little bit, because she does not have as much screen time and also lines as the rest of the emotions. Well, besides on Wii, but we'll get back into that in another video. The audience passes up Envy's actual plot and relevance in the movie as some sort of accomplice, is what I'm saying, but not really to the idea that I'm trying to explain it as. And I'm not trying to criticize how subtle Envy is throughout this movie, because honestly, I'm praising it. It's really well written. But here's the reason why a lot of people have missed this. Most people don't go to see a movie twice. Usually they go see it once, and then they see it again like 10 years down the line again. The thing is that if you go back into Inside Out 2 and watch it again and actually pay close attention of how Envy is described and kind of shows her actions, you'll actually understand an entire part of the movie that you missed before, which I think is really beautiful about it. It makes the movie extremely rewatchable to go watch these other characters that you didn't pay attention to as much kind of show themselves a little bit more. While of course it's the exact same plot, but it adds another entire element to it. And from what I've said about the Accomplice side of Envy, it really makes this movie something that on the surface, it's not too much, but when you go see it again, the Accomplice side comes out, and it's really well written. So with that, thank you everybody for watching. I'm Enchanted. But before I head out, I just want to say that I am really appreciating the fact that this channel has grown even more than last time. Like literally, I thought we were just at 2,000 subscribers. Now we're at 3,000. Now we have 1 million total channel views. Now we have, I don't know, videos getting 25,000 views in a day. Like, that's crazy. We have 400 entire videos on this channel now. I really think that this is an accomplishment that we all as a community on this channel can relish in. Like, this is all of ours. Thank you so much. This is a dream since I don't know when. It was a long time ago, and just kind of building up to it has been the most satisfying thing in my entire life. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm Enchanted. Bye.